I'll go out of my own way. like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength
Good morning, good morning. What is going on, everyone? I hope that we're having a good one so far. The SPY made a brand new all-time high once again. I bet that's going to make a lot of you out there very happy so far this morning. How are we doing? What's up, Kyle? Love the channel. You guys just don't have money for memberships. I'm just starting to... Thanks. There you go, Kyle. Appreciate that. Hey, just join the Discord. Stay in the free chat. You'll still learn a lot. What's up, Xavier, Joe Papa, Michael? What's the play for this morning? I'm looking for Palantir and Uber. Let's see, Palantir. So far, wow, they were actually doing pretty decent in pre-market. They were holding up okay, but wow, at open, they turned over pretty hard here. Wow, so you're looking at Palantir and Uber. Palantir and Uber both turned over fairly hard there. The SPY's just sticking right around its opening price. Nvidia pulling back slightly at open, with the wick extending down to like 176.50. How about good old Tessie here? Tessie. Can't forget about them in the short term. What's up, Iceman? Jason. Tesla actually has a nice green candle at open, but nothing too crazy right now. How's it going? How's it going? Christian. Hoping GLD keeps going up, Joe Papa said. Me too. I love gold. It's been awesome in the short term. 340 testing today right at open. It broke above 340 in pre-market, but it is now just kind of touching it now that the market's open. Mason got so lucky yesterday. What happened? Was it fantasy? What's up, Jen? No problem. I was gone for a little over a week. QQQ pulling back here. Look at the red candles. Wow, we're seeing some pullbacks coming in at open. BBAI. Yeah, that one is on fire here, Iceman. Wow, Big Bear. 9% today. Bloom Energy, same thing, almost 9%. Oh, there we go. Now it's at 9. BE popping off at open. Pretty nice rip out of these two stocks. The two Bs. Let's go see OXY. There we go. 1.56%. Crude oil's moving up quite a bit today. I don't know if you guys saw that overnight move with crude, or early morning, I should say. Pretty good pop up, 1.2% there. You can see crude on the daily is starting to form a bit of a base. This base is hitting right around $62. What's up, Mr. Woo? If you guys are just now joining up, destroy that like. Helps us out more than you think. Zom in that oil sector. Nice opening move. How is General Motors? Ford. Nothing crazy there. Ford up a little bit. There was a nice stock in pre-market today called NFE. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. New Fortress Energy. I've looked at it a little bit in the past. It has had some movement. Nonetheless, though, it dropped off recently. It was up like 20% in pre-market, but looking pretty rough at open. Rivian. Hawk says 2.5%, not a bad move at all. Joby's up around that too. Joby's actually looking pretty solid, breaking above pre-market highs, possibly starting a bit of an intraday run. 7 minutes here into open. Gonna have some polls coming up here soon about the events going on tomorrow. What are the sell walls looking like for Joby? Looks like there is some resistance coming up around 1465 and then 15. Let's go see. Weird, there's this big sell wall that's been stacked up at 15. But at open today, there were some sellers that came in around 15.20, weird enough. So that's a bit strange. Big sell walls on Joby. MNST Monster Beverage actually up a lot more than I'm used to seeing at 1.13. It's at the upper end of my watch list. This one's normally not up like that. At least not on my watch list visibly. JMIA. I haven't looked at that one in a long time, Iceman. Isn't JMIA like the Amazon of like a different country? I have not looked at this one in maybe over a year. Yep. It's like the Amazon of Africa. That's what I thought. It's partnered with more than 100,000 sellers and individuals. It's a marketplace, logistics service, and payment service operating in Africa. Memory served correct. It has been popping off this year, though. My gosh. Ran from like $2 all the way up to $12. It says that the Coca-Cola Company is a significant minority shareholder of Monster Beverage, holding 19% of the stock as of late 2024. There must be a huge partnership there. Really, what's going on? Back to the SPY. Selling down a bit. Down through 661, which is actually the high from yesterday. Right through there, I would have thought maybe there'd be some support bouncing going on. Let's see if 660.75 maybe holds, but maybe you have to watch 660 a bit closer. Melly is the Amazon of South Africa. Oh, wow. Melly's moving today too, actually. This one has a lot more consistent price action than JMIA, that's for sure. I actually like the support on Melly right here. 2,300. Now this stock I've looked at a lot more than I've looked at JMIA over the past couple years, that's for sure. What's up, Cammy? Baba, let's see. Not the best action today, but that's okay. They can't pop every single day. There is going to be a big support testing on Baba here, around 157. Maybe 157.30, you could say. Grab hit resistance as soon as I sent that out, City said. Check out Grab, it's still going. That's funny. Of course it did, right? Did anyone do the iOS 26 update? Not yet. Not yet. Now I'm scared. City said never trade Baba on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Why is that? I don't even know how I would begin to do that. Mason, what did you get lucky with yesterday? Is it because you won by like 1 point? That's pretty crazy. Oh, I can see it for sure. I just don't know how I would trade it. I don't have access to that exchange. But I can definitely pull it up on there. It's somewhere here. Here we go. This might be it. Go back to the US stocks for now, though. 660.75's trying to hold up on SPY. See some slight green candles, some reaction so far here. At one of our more minor supports, I would say, but it is holding up. This isn't necessarily a high from yesterday, but it is where we saw a lot of intraday action, so we'll see. It looks like it's going to sell right through, though. Watch for 660. We got our little reaction. We got our consolidation. Let's see if 660 can come into play. It is selling off in a pretty decent way so far at open. Might be seeing some de-risking here. It's 9988. I think that is what I was looking at. Yep. Doesn't look too crazy. I don't know what to think of that. PDD has been a slow but consistent grower. Yeah, it hasn't been as explosive as Baba, I'd say. Some of these other China stocks have done a lot better recently. But you're right, nice and consistent. And that recent huge big money trade is pretty crazy too. This one was called out on September 3rd. Don't know why I didn't have the date on that one. Nonetheless, though, very awesome in the short term. Starting to move a bit more here. Good dip buy. Far in the money, too. QQQ testing the highs from yesterday, kind of like the SPY is. Have you ever bought something off their city? I've actually never used them before. But again, you know, in the US, not sure. GLD is doing pretty good again. You know, looking at GLD, it's kind of straddling the overhead resistance here. There's a big overhead resistance this morning, right at 340.50. Past that, we are going to be at new all-time highs, so nothing is established overhead, that's for sure. Be nice to see a good breakout again, though. Come on, gold, let's see it. It's actually pretty close. Sorry about that. I had to down some water there. Oh, I see what you're saying now, City. If you bought in 21, let's see. Let's see what it looks like here on the US, though. I mean, you know, it looks pretty rough on the US exchange, too. You see, I know you said, what a shocker if you bought it in 2021. It looks pretty rough even on the US exchange. Of course, you know, they're generally going to be pretty close. Can't wait to see how markets react to rate cuts. Me either. Me either. We've seen some really good reactions so far. You know, heading into this event, I would say we've seen a ton of bullishness. Look at Tesla here trying to make a bounce. Tesla's trying to bounce here at 412. On the HK Haas stock exchange, you have to buy a certain amount per order. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how you'd how you would even get access to trade that. It's not even really a conversation to really even have, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting, but it'll probably never pertain to me, that's for sure. Tesla loves their consolidation cones, Xavier says. I love the way Tesla's consolidating and bouncing off 412 here. This is actually looking like a pretty good bullish setup off of this double bottom. I'm liking the recovery. That's why I'm sitting on Tesla here. I like it quite a bit. What's up, Jeanette? How are you doing today? How are we doing? Rick says Moo Moo trades Hong Kong. Do they? Like they'll give you access here to do it? I'm sure you can get access. I just, again, City lives there? Ah. Now you're making more sense, City. I thought you lived somewhere, but I didn't realize it was Hong Kong. Man, look at Tesla go. This 5-minute candle's nice. The 1 minutes look even nicer. What's up, Demure? Good morning, good morning. Glad to be back, man. Glad to see ya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. City says, I'm 9 hours into the future compared to y'all. It's like 10 p.m. there. Wow. Yeah, let's get it, Demure. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Check in on Boeing today. How's NFE looking again? New Fortress Energy. Checking in on them because they were explosive last night and they were up quite a bit today at open, but they did give back almost all their gains, which sucks for them. A lot of the stocks that were running earlier started to really slow up, like BBAI, BE. What's up with Oracle here? They're up a lot this morning. They gapped up well. Not able to get past that pre-market high, though, unfortunately. I was hoping to see a better run starting to play out than this. That pre-market high will be pretty important to break today. I would say around 320. Definitely a good resistance up there. How's Neo up 1.2%? Neo doesn't look bad at all. Like the 650 bounce today. Okay. Pretty solid. Rivian was moving good a little while ago. It still looks solid. 14.17. Rivian kept up their nice action. 4%. There's one that didn't turn over. How's Lucid? Okay, not near as good. Tesla chopping around up at resistance. They had that nice run back to resistance, but of course, things are getting choppy now there. Another red 1 minute candle. You scalped that to the upside. Nice. Hell yeah, that's why you were hyping up Tesla there. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out with that TikTok deal. Of course, big reason why Oracle's moving up here. I'm pulling up the articles for us. Yeah, as part of the agreement, Oracle will keep its cloud deal with the platform, so that's good to hear. The deal is expected to close in 30 to 45 days. There'll be new investors as well as existing investors. It's a pretty big deal with TikTok, you know. Good to see a good TikTok deal, I guess. That's especially good for the content creators out there, that's for sure. Solar Edge trying to come up off the dip, bouncing off $30.80 or so. It's up 1.7% today. The average percent rise for this one is 4.4%. It'd be nice if they continued like yesterday. Look at yesterday, how they chopped around it open a little bit, and then they made for a great dip buy opportunity throughout the rest of the day. It looks like right now they're in a similar setup where they're chopping around today, and you know, we could maybe see an intraday recovery here. Let's go check out the daily. Okay, yeah, they're starting to come up off the dip on the daily even a little bit. Looks pretty solid for a possible recovery. Not saying it's going to happen all week long, but I like the possibility today. Open door. What's up with it, Jake? Bouncing off of $9, he says, is CLSD. What's up, Tangy? SoFi with a big pullback, Jake said. I noticed there's a few crazy pullbacks today. If we go to the watch list and we scroll down, man, some of the big nuclear stocks from yesterday were falling off today. UEC, even like Uranium Energy Corp, down a lot. URA pulling back a lot as well. Big pullbacks out there out of these. Oklo, not the best continuation day for them, that's for sure. Quad Use, Energy Fuels. Wax says, still struggling. Had a nice 55% gain start to my short-term trading January to June. Now I'm back to even from June to September, getting the full beginner experience. Man, Wack, yeah, it sounds like it. Just make sure you're keeping that risk in check. That's one of the biggest things out there. Of course, if you're in the Discord, make sure you read through a lot of the channels and, of course, attend the Q&As on Wednesdays. Those will help a lot. Go see APA. Moving up pretty well today. Making a new high of the day as we speak. It's going to be hot, Demir says. Hopefully it's hot in the market too with Jerome Powell. That'd be nice. FOMC day coming up. Let's do a poll. Gonna do a poll. All right, here we go. What do we think's going to happen? There's 3 options here. Will Jerome Powell and the FOMC rate cuts move markets higher? Or will it be a buy the rumor, sell the news situation? I couldn't put that all in the title, so I had to cut some things off. But you'll get it. There's 3 answers. Markets rip, buy the rumor, sell the news, or markets go flat. Buy the rumor, sell the news essentially means markets will go down. So if you pick that one, you're more bearish. All right, let's see. What do you guys think? I'm curious because obviously rate cuts are generally thought of as bullish for the market. But then again, if you're cutting rates because of negative economic activity, that's a pretty negative sign. I do think that there's just some consolidation today, Demir. I do think that there's a possibility that the SPY could end up seeing an intraday bounce back, though. But I do think that ahead of FOMC tomorrow, I'm not surprised to see people taking some profits here. I do think it's just a consolidation phase, more of, though, for sure, ahead of the event. I am watching some of these supports from yesterday, though. Like, I would love for some of these to hold up around 659.50 to 660. This is the main area I thought would hold up here. I like it, Iceman. It seems like that's the case. It seems like that's the case. I mean, inflation hasn't really been going up, if we're being honest. You know, inflation has just been staying the same. I know a lot of people have been eyeing it up, and, you know, it has technically been rising, but it's been staying within, like, a general zone, right? If we look at, like, a 5-year chart of the inflation, you know, we can tell that, like, right now, the inflation isn't really that high. I guess it is more towards the upper end of its range the past couple years, but, you know, for the most part, it's like right in the middle, I'd say. It's probably right at the median, if you count 2 years, or close to the median. So it's not like inflation's going that crazy, but if you look at like a 1-year chart of it, you can see the past 3 to 4 readings have been a bit more on that inflation rising side. Obviously, it went from 2.3 to 2.9 from April to August. So, you know, it's not like I'm sitting here saying it's not rising by a lot. It's just rising a little, I'd say. Anything over 3%, I'd be pretty worried. That's for sure. He said the richer get richer and the poorer get poorer. Tangy Man said, I'd agree. I took a lot of profit right at close yesterday. Hey, that was a good time, too, with the way the SPY spiked up there. Not bad, Tangy. If Powell came in and did no cuts, Jin, I think that it would throw the markets off so bad that there'd probably be like a flash crash or something. I'm not saying like a true crash, but, you know, at least like a temporary downturn, I'd say. Black Swan, you mean, Tom? I would call it a black swan, yeah, because it's not expected. Black swans are generally like random things, though. Like if there was gonna be like a random like terrorist attack or something. But that people would probably consider that a black swan. Tangy goes, that would be awesome. and Iceman said Trump would be pissed. Oh my god. Could you imagine Trump's press conference that day? Oh, wow. That would be a wild one. Or his Truth Social, he might have to put the phone down for a while. Palantir's trying to bounce kind of like the SPY today, just sticking kind of around its low of the day, not really getting up from where it is. Tessie is now back above its intraday resistance here, right around 417, 417.50. Got back through, which is solid to see. It's up to 420 now. There we go. I don't know, Brain. I feel like there's one all the time. Which one of the 5 recently do you mean? Yeah, that's obviously the main one, right? I don't know if you even call it that, though, but we don't want to get into that too much. Great market manipulation today. It's because of me. I got the 593 calls that hit for a split second, and nope, he's up, so sideways and down. But not enough, though, because now his put is ripping. Yep, gonna fall at the top of this RSI already, Juan said. It's manipulating you, huh? You got the calls, so it sent the SPY down. I see. Or you're looking at QQQ. Yeah, QQQ. I was like, 593. Hang on. If you're just now joining up today, destroy that like and subscribe button. Let's go. Getting back into the flow of things here. UVXY up 1.75% today. Not bad, Iceman. It is starting to move up a bit. SPY is closer to support, though. I mean, it does seem to be flushing, though. It just continues to flush lower. I like 659.50 where it bounced at yesterday, right around the end of the day. I think that's going to be pretty critical here. But again, with the event tomorrow and everything, and with how overextended SPY has become here, actually, over the past few trading days, it's not terribly unrealistic to look at a downtrend, of course. Obviously, puts have been the way to go so far today. I am worried, though, because we are within this, 50-cent support range now, which is a bit different. What does that mean, Weck? Weck says, I have a high risk tolerance, meaning I don't get stopped out / faked out very often. I more of just get the daily direction wrong and then have to risk manage. Any tips on how to correct that? Well, it sounds like kind of like what you're doing is that whenever you say that you risk manage, I think that that's kind of where you would say that you say that you don't get stopped out / faked out very often. So stopped out and faked out are two different things. Now, obviously, sometimes when you get stopped out, there will be fake outs involved. And again, that's something that whenever you make a strategy and you go into it, that has to be understood, right? But nonetheless, whenever you say that you have to risk manage, it sounds like you're essentially talking about stopping out just later in the day or something, right? Let's see, they said There's another Charlito. Oh, I got you. Meaning like it goes lower after I risk manage. Yeah, I got you. It goes lower. I see. Yeah, you know, I mean, there's going to be times where if you do risk manage, it can definitely keep going in your direction throughout the day, right? A lot of times that's where re-entry might be needed, especially as like momentum starts to really come back into play. But there is going to be some variance there. So, you know, it sounds like you're doing and going for more of like a whole day move. Whereas like instead of like looking for an entire day's move, you know, maybe look to trade, let's say like an hour long move, right? Or maybe more of like a morning move or an afternoon move. Something like that I think might help you out a little bit. Because like right now, like see how the SPY's trending down? Like it's doing great, right? It's in the morning, it's trending down awesome. I would bet by the end of the day today, things end up a lot crazier. And if you just would have held all day, it's probably not as good as just trading the morning move, right? That's something that I would definitely try to work on there, especially in the morning, like you said. The early trades seem to work fast. Yes. The earlier morning trades definitely work out a lot faster. Now, there can be some opening volatility, but again, that has to be expected a bit. BBAI is up. Tangy Man said to guess the other direction. Tangy. Brain says trading the early morning move sounds like euphemism. I mean, it's totally dependent, right? I'm not saying to go out there and trade the first 5 minutes. You know, that's not what I'm necessarily saying. But it can be beneficial to definitely look at like an overall morning move, right? It's all good, Brain. It's all good. It's all good. Man, look at the SPY coming back here. Bouncing a bit within our 50-cent support range. That's why we were being skeptical there. You know, we're getting some chop back. This is a big range from yesterday, so starting to bounce back pretty quickly. We're gonna make up our own new one, Xavier, it sounds like. Waiting for Oklo to break, but watching GRNT. Are you watching Oklo to break down? Looks pretty rough today for Oklo. Granite Ridge Resource. GRNT. Interesting setup here, Brain. Again, one that I haven't looked at very often. I don't think that this is a very popular one out there by any means. Daily looks solid, though. Starting to point to the upside in a pretty good way. Oh, it's a dividend stock. I see. Demir's done for the day. There we go. Hey, I'm glad you did good on Tesla here today, Demir. Let's go. Glad to hear you walking away in the profits. Yeah, good seeing you, Demir. Happy to have you here, of course. Go clean your rifles and dig a hole, my man. How's CoreWeave looking, Weckass? Let's see. CRWV, one of my favorites for action in the short term. Had a lot of action at open today, actually. Tested the recent high around 125. We were actually watching this one as a momentum play. Now, it did get to 125, but man, as it got there, it like immediately turned around on the 1 minute candles, unfortunately. Give me one moment. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Had to take care of something really quickly on the phone. iPhone 17 is getting some plus size love. What does that mean? You know, it's funny. I got a new phone like 2 weeks ago. I knew I was going to get it right before then. I know, I just got one. I was like, oh no, now the 17 came out. I knew it was going to come out soon, but... oh well. I was calling Steve Madden. How'd you know? Ticker symbol SHOO, one of my good friends, Steve Madden. You know, SHOO actually did start popping off pretty well. I can't lie. Oh, the big money exited this play. SHOO. Unfortunately, I don't know when they exited, though. Let me go look it up real quick. Curious if it was recently or not. Can't remember. Oh, wow. Wow, so the big money took profits on this on September 11th. Wow, okay. Granted, the OI had climbed quite a bit over that time, too. Wow, the big money made a killing on that one. They really made a killing on this one. They made probably like, it looks like they would have pretty much made 100% or so. Maybe a little more. You've been looking at new phones as well. I want to get a foldable phone. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the foldable iPhone, and then I'm gonna go for that one. They're way clunkier than the iPhone. Brain says he's looking at phones that have extended battery and thermal vision. What the hell? Thermal vision? You might as well just walk around with night vision goggles on. QQQ's trying to break VWAP, Juan said. QQQ did hold it yesterday's support level as well. It was technically yesterday's resistance, but it is holding up. Brain says, you're going to laugh, but I have done that. I'm not surprised. Especially over there where you live. Yeah. You know what's weird? My old Mercedes, I used to have a 2008 Mercedes AMG, and it had this thing where it would take your speedometer away, and it would put a thermal image up or a night vision image, and you could drive around with night vision on. It was insane. Let me pull this up. Yeah, look at this. You guys are gonna laugh. This is what it looked like. So you would like drive around and, you know, your speedometer was generally right here in the middle. And see how it had like night vision there? It's so weird. And this is a car from 2008. I was like, what the? I thought that was one of the weirdest things I'd seen in a long time. In a car anyways, right? Tangy knows what it is? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was gonna say, it doesn't look new. It looks like an old scope or something. Iceman said older Cadillacs had that. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. That car was actually really cool, that 2008 Mercedes. I gotta say, that thing was a cool car. SPY pulling back here. 659.50. We'll see if it can continue to hold this, maybe form a bit of a base. I'm flexing on you with my nods. I'll tell you what, some of those 80s dashboards are crazy. Whether you look at like Nissans or... There's just some wild ones out there. How's Tessie holding up here intraday? We're about an hour into the market opening. Tesla's done nothing but go up and down, chop around. But it has held its ground. I couldn't come up with another rhyme. Darn it. I realized all three of those words rhymed. It was going pretty good. But yeah, Tesla bouncing. 412. Very nice support holding up. I like the way it's holding. I could see it trying to make another run today. I like the setup here in the hold. What are you going to trade for the interest rate decision, Tesla? You know, I think for the interest rate decision, really, just let the long-term accounts play out. Let those play out how they go. And then maybe just have a slight hedge. You know, nothing crazy, a very slight hedge. If the market goes nuts, then you have a small hedge in place. It could, you know, probably pay out pretty well. Of course, do the math, see what you have to do to, you know, help against like, you know, a 2% hit or something just in case. But nonetheless, I think just a small hedge and just being safe with, you know, positions is the smart way to go here. No reason to go nuts. The market should like it, but there could be a buy the rumor, sell the news situation that plays out, and something that could definitely happen. Full blast in the office. Come on, Tessie. Get through here. Don't chop back in the zone. I want some good directional action, some tradable action, not some chop. That's why I'm asking for it to move. You know what's starting to move, guys? Tilray and CGC. What's going on here? Tilray and CGC. Yeah, that's actually pretty fire there, Tilray. Up 5% on the day. Not bad. Not bad. Look at that daily setup there. Be nice if it got some better action than just a 2-cent pop above resistance, but, you know, it's starting to get a move going. You did a Tilray leap because it's holding the $1 support well. Nice, Xavier. Nice. I bet it was pretty cheap, too. My partners are in some big meeting with one of the big weed companies right now. Really? That's pretty huge. Is it just me, or does the market look fatter than Keira Knightley? What? I haven't heard that name in a long time. I gotta look this up. Oh! What? I'm so lost here. Is this the lady from Pirates of the Caribbean? Sorry, guys. I don't follow Hollywood crap very good, as you guys know. No details. I let them deal with Big Green. They only bring me in when they absolutely needed to wrap up a deal. Hey, thanks for subscribing, J.I. If anybody else out there is just now joining up for the first time, destroy that subscribe and also hit the like button. We were gone for a couple weeks, so destroying the like really helps us out more than you guys probably think it does. pretty big. So let's get in the game.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Tangiana says, I'm too coarse, not a politician. I feel you. You know I'm old and grumpy when I swear too much, Tangi said. Yeah, that's what I'm asking, Rick. Like, what? Now I'm lost. Amazon's looking good, Jake said. AMZN. 5-minute chart. 235.50. This is a big overhead resistance on Amazon. Man, again, it did make a good move, but the resistance here is critical. And, you know, it got a little bit past it, but now is right back under it. I guess it just shows that this overall range is pretty large. TSLA coming back. Maybe making another 420 run today. Elon Musk's favorite number. He even posted about this yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I went on X or something, and it popped up and said that Elon posted something about 420 and something with 69s or something. I was like, what? I was like, I can't believe he actually posts stuff like that. But again, it's Elon, right? I guess we're kind of used to it by now. Bank of America moving down, $50.30, trying to make a small bounce. Nothing crazy there. JP Morgan, boring. Nobody wants to see that, which means that we need to go back to Tilray, which is up more now, up to 1.25. Aller says Google. GOOGL, let's see. Google bouncing a little bit here at 250. Moving up. Resistance is around 250, 250 here now. We'll have to see if it touches resistance and rejects back. It's a pretty big level here coming up. I would definitely be skeptical of 250, 250 holding up and a possible rejection here. It honestly not even a bad opportunity for a possible put scalp off of that. Is JP speaking today, and will you be covering it? It's not today, it is tomorrow, and yes, I will 100% be live for the Jerome Powell event. That'll be a very big event that will be extremely important for us as well. So, yep, I will definitely be live. It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be going live around 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time, about 15 minutes before the event starts. And I'll be posting the links up out there so that we can be ready for the decision. And then Jerome Powell will speak 30 minutes after that, and then we will cover that as well. Always a fun event. Don't forget we have our tradition as well. We'll never forget that. It's has not been forgotten for multiple years now. I don't think it's been forgotten one time. Do you mind giving me your take on ACHR's chart? Call it mid to long timeline. Sorry about that. Yeah, I do like ACHR quite a bit here on the chart and the way that it had dipped recently. Now, my big concern is, okay, there is a pretty big low down here around $6. This is a pretty big zone. It's actually a support that's held up pretty beautifully multiple times. I'm not saying that ACHR is going to get back to that by any means, but this lower support range, I think, could come into play. Again, I don't think it's going to necessarily get to $6, but I think something like $7, somewhere around there, could possibly come into play. But for a medium-term trade, you know, if you're going to use this upper end of the support range as a good stop-out area, and, you know, we're looking at $8 here, essentially. You know, you can place your stop like at $7.80, somewhere just under that, and allow this to play out off of this support. I like that. And whenever I look at the chart, that's just my big concern here, Tangi, is it's like, okay, we're in a good downtrend. It's just like, okay, is this going to be the official bottom, or will the official bottom come more of down here? You know, there has been a lot of touches and hits there, even within 2025 itself. So I am a bit skeptical of this overall setup here, but I like the support that we're touching, you know, given that there's been multiple hits here in the past and good holds. So I do like that aspect of it, but I am a bit worried that it could fall lower. I think the smartest way to go here with ACHR, and, you know, obviously this is with most plays, of course, but, you know, especially in one like this where it's downtrending, is averaging in, right? I think getting into something with shares and averaging in, like if you were to average in here, you know, it dips down to like 750, you average in there. If you get very unlucky and it runs down to 6, you know, maybe you average in there again, and then your average is maybe somewhere around like 7 or 750, right? And then whenever it comes back, you can do a lot better. I just have to say, though, that ACHR is a very wild stock, and it's a pretty wild growth stock, right? We're talking about robo-taxis, essentially, that are eVTOLs. Like, you know, you have electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. That's pretty insane, right? I'm not saying that they have to be robo-taxis, but, you know, there's obviously going to be a lot of autopilot and etc. Done on them. It's just a very niche sector. It almost reminds me, now, you know, let me know your guys' thoughts here. It almost reminds me of Virgin Galactic. You know, like how crazy that ticker is? Now, I think that they changed its SPCE. Oh, wow, they are still trading as SPCE, funny enough. But, you know, SPCE, they had a lot of hype their first couple years, right? They had a lot of hype. There was a lot of good bullishness with them. And, you know, people were like, oh my gosh, we're going to go to space and have space tourism and things are going to pop off. And, you know, for 2 years, the company did okay performance-wise. Then things faltered after a while, right? I'm a little worried that these companies like ACHR and Joby, for example, are going to start to turn into like an SPCE situation. It looks like Joby's chart's way better than ACHR's chart, but not enough premium in the cash secured puts for my taste. Wait to see what comes. Yeah. Let's do a trend here. One interesting thing would be the trend in play. Kind of eyeing that up. It's not the worst setup on the dip buy. Again, I like the possibility at 8. I would either just get straight up shares here and look to average in over the long term, or just look at some type of like cheaper call option that you could just use to play off support. You know, when I say option, you know, obviously more than one. You don't like Joby either. Hard to do business in California with Gavin taxing us into oblivion. Yup. Yeah, it's just a very niche sector. What's up, RSB? Always cool to talk about, though. I love talking about stocks like this. I'm sure a lot of people have been interested in Joby and ACHR. It looks like we lost a lot of viewers talking about it, but that's okay. Don't forget to vote up in the poll, guys. Vote up in the poll. SPY coming back down to test the low of the day. We have 46 total votes in the poll. That's a pretty good one. Will Jerome Powell or the FOMC rate cuts move markets higher, or will it be a buy the rumor, sell the news? Buy the rumor, sell the news is actually winning the poll with 52%. Get your votes in, because that's a pretty crazy stat there to have that winning the poll like that. I can't really imagine it either, Brain. And also, what starts happening whenever these things start crashing out of the sky, right? There's no way that those things are going to be as secure as like a, at least in like a aircraft. Now, like an airplane or a jet or something. Now, obviously, I don't know about comparing it to a normal helicopter. Again, it's hard to say there because helicopters fly around these cities and stuff all the time. And it doesn't seem like there's generally that many problems, but... SPY. What are we looking for? You guys think it'll hold here? We think it's going to go red for most of the day. Just let me know in the chat your thoughts. Maybe give me some reasons why, too, if you're feeling really advantageous. But I do think that it's a pretty crazy setup testing this lower end of the range from yesterday. Juan said, here we go. Gonna start falling. Aller said red. Weeble's down. Let's see. BULL. No kidding. Down 3%. Not even down to their average percent drop, though. Their average percent fall is 4.8% since they came on the market. Their average percent rise is 12.9%. That is insane. You're right, though. Looking at the daily chart, it looks like they're turning over in a pretty rough way, and I could see them selling down a lot more. The setup on Weeble actually looks pretty bad. Oh yeah, that would definitely be something for like the uber rich, right, Tangi? I've heard it would be something where like, you know, they could take you from like your house to like some restaurants and back or something, or but yeah, again, probably an insane amount of money. A single seat tiny plane? Is there really no license required for some of those? Maybe not over there, Brain. In the US, you definitely would have to have one. You're talking about the US? Wow, okay. Are you talking about the stuff that they use to like go crop dusting and all that, right? I've seen them around quite a bit. Look at Tessie moving higher here. 420's coming up. Yeah, I don't know, Brain. I'd have to look into the regulations for that one. Break out the books. There we go, Tessie, getting through. 420 just broke, guys. Tesla is moving higher. I love the way it's set up today. That was such a good double bottom and hold there this morning. It's been flat, but it's starting to get some action. Yeah, that was a really good double bottom. Oh yeah, Tangy, the drones are insane there. The drones are gonna... Well, we've already seen it with Ukraine, so... And that's not even, like, the tip of the iceberg, I think, on how drones could end up being. We're talking about, like, almost third world country drones right now. Look at Tessie go. What a rip. Oh, okay, Brain, I got you. Yeah, I haven't heard of that. Interesting, though. Man, that's a pretty good move, though. We might have a new high of the day soon. Let's get it, Tessie. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of those things are very rudimentary compared to what like what a real, like, I don't know, like the US military would be operating with. I could be wrong. Then look, the DARPA projects for swarms. That's more of like what I'm thinking, like some AI swarming stuff or something that, you know, I feel like the drones could get pretty wild. Yeah, that's what I kept saying, Tangy. I've been looking up some of that stuff too. That's insane. I know that's been a very popular one. They partnered with Palantir. I don't know if you guys knew that. I'm sure some of you did, but our cat partnered with Palantir. Probably why they're so popular, but... Well, I knew you would, Tangy. Oh, Tangy, man. How's CoreWeave looking again? CRWV? Palantir got really slow today. CoreWeave pulling back again. Still pulling back, Weck. Unfortunately, it's pullback city right now. How's GitLab, GTLB? Let's go back into Oklo and UUUU. Those stocks got really slow. Still slow on the day. I thought maybe they'd be turning around or starting to come up off the dips, but not really anything crazy there. Big Bear AI is getting closer to its high of the day again. Now this one is getting a dip buy. Starting to play out. Big Bear coming back intraday. Go back to Tessie. What are we looking like? Damn, it bounced right at the high from pre-market. Close to 421. Let's go look at those sellers on the book map. Wow, there's really not that much there. 420 was a good sell wall, but we broke right through it. 421 didn't really have much there. 425 is pretty big overhead, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty clear skies. There's always a little bit of sellers at every whole dollar level, but really not all that much. Go see HIMS. HIMS. Whoa, huge drops, but crazy recoveries here by HIMS. Too bad following yesterday's action. They tried to go for that run at open and really turned it over today. Was there some news here? I mean, this one's such a crazy drop. I mean, I would have thought there was some news. There's literally nothing out there. Just entered BBAI. Let us pray. I like your play on the words there. Nice pop by Big Bear, though. Yeah. Right back up. Let's see if we can get through, Brain. That'd be nice to make a new high of the day. Go for that secondary run. No lower highs. Chant it with me. No lower highs. That's going to be the name of the game here. Wax says PDD October and ACHR December big money plays looking good / holding up well. Yeah, PDD just started doing extremely great. Starting to break out a bit more again. It was a lot better at the high of day today, but still, we get it. ACHR. Beautiful, beautiful. Couple of big money trades on this one. One from June 24th and the other one from July 24th. A month apart. That's funny. Straight up month apart there. Don't forget, if you're here today, I will be going live tomorrow for the FOMC event in the afternoon. I'll be live in the morning. We'll take a lunch break, and then we'll come back and go live again in the afternoon for the FOMC decision. We'll be going live at 1:45 p.m. Eastern time. The event starts at 2 p.m., so we're going to start about 15 minutes early, 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Get in there for that interest rate decision and Jerome Powell speaking. I'll have it live. I stepped away, no lower highs. Are we talking about the market or an MJ slogan? Definitely the market. The Big Bear is what we were looking at. That's funny. Dangy Man said, January 2028 BTBT cash secure puts paying thick premiums. Said all about that action. Let's see, Bit Digital. Yeah, you know, I guess because it had been dipping recently and then the past few trading days got slow. It doesn't look bad either. Like, there's a huge base down here around, like, 175 to 250. I mean, it's a pretty insane base, but nonetheless, a huge area of support. It's almost like two separate supports, but it forms a crazy range. Nonetheless, look at some pictures of Jerome Powell for tomorrow. We'll get ready for him. Let's find the best one. This one's one of my favorites right here. I guess they didn't have a good still shot of him with his hard hat on, but remember how he looked at him and like shook his head or whatever? That was funny. Oh boy. I can't wait for tomorrow, guys. It's going to be a wild one, isn't it? Imagine if Powell does not cut. If he doesn't cut, there's going to be hell stirred up tomorrow, that's for sure. Yeah, that'd be insane. Trump's going to go nuts if that were the case. Man, SPY is pushing back towards the low of the day. It's within like just a few cents of that low of the day here. We might make a new one. It seems pretty lackluster on the price action. Pretty negative overall. It could make a bounce, but it looks pretty rough. Looks like one of those bearish sell-off days in my book. The base looks terrible. Imagine if Trump was, yeah, like, wouldn't that be funny if, like, he barged into the room that Powell was giving the speech? At that point, if it got that bad, I don't even know what they would do, guys. That would be wild. SPY pulling back, 659.50, starting to test. A new low of the day was just made by a couple cents. We're testing support, see if it bounces or not. How's Nvidia looking today to you, Tom? Wex said. NVDA. Nvidia. Pretty insane. Pretty flat and choppy, but overall red, down 0.9%. Pretty lackluster price action overall. Looks a bit bearish to me. I would say it looks like it could be more of a sell-off day, and I like it down. This was actually a good momentum play from last night. We were looking at 176.40 or 176.50 for a breakdown, and we're starting to see that play out today. And it's actually broken under that level and has now used it as resistance here and is trying to push back below that range once again. You can see how choppy it's gotten here within this range. So now we're starting to push lower again. I like the possibility of a good sell-off here, especially with the weakness that the SPY's having right now too. Yeah, Nvidia's not looking the best. This is rough. Not the best PA. Tessie's actually coming back to test that pre-market level. Nice intraday resistance, which is now support around 416.85 to 417. You can see it bouncing almost near perfectly on our line again. That's why it's there. My finger is shaking on the sell button for BBAI. I don't blame you. It's up quite a bit. It is getting up into a decent range. I mean, 585 would probably be the highest I go if I were you, but... Big level here. Aller says, do you think Tesla will hold TSLA? I'm not banking on it. I feel like Tesla's very choppy here. Now, it's good to see this nice bullish run up to the pre-market highs, but we rejected again at the pre-market high, and, you know, again, that shows a lot of weakness. So I'm a bit worried here that Tesla's going to continue a pullback more of. Made 10-ish bucks and out happy. That's awesome. Not bad, I guess. I guess it took me a second to realize, but... Is that one for less than 48 hours? Let's see. Bought back my BBAI CSPs. Less than, so you've only had those cash secured puts on BBAI for 48 hours? That's pretty solid. I guess it makes sense with how much it ripped up here. %52% voted for buy the rumor, sell the news. That is an insane stat. I can't believe that that's winning the poll here, but... Alrighty, guys, we're probably going to call the stream there today. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for the stream, you know, doing double streams, and we'll have the FOMC event. So, going to take care of some stuff today that, you know, might need to be taken care of tomorrow. Nonetheless, if you guys need anything, make sure to check out the Discord, and also, make sure to also check out the trading floor. If you're interested, if you're not yet in the trading floor, check it out. I'm going to send the link in the description here, or sorry, in the chat. Use code BIGMONEY for $100 off a yearly sub. Let's go, let's go. Have a great one, guys. Hope to see you in the Discord. A lot of crazy runners today, like Big Bear AI, but again, I'd say with the overall market, a lot of flatness. And even with a lot of these growth stocks that I love, like Oklo, UUUU, lots of pullbacks came into play. Not my favorite price action, I would say that. My favorite thing was Tesla testing that pre-market high. That was probably my favorite thing that I saw today out there. But all right, let's go. Talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday.